I've been thinking about what it means to hit a milestone. And I keep thinking about what a milestone really means. Because it's easy to celebrate the number, but the real story is what it took to get here. Today is my 50th episode. 50 episodes is 50 times that I chose to show up. Not when everything was calm and cute and scheduled. I mean, showing up when I was tired, showing up when I had a lot on my plate, showing up when life felt like somebody handed me all the spinning plates at once. The last 8 months have been beautiful and heavy and stretching and rewarding all at once. And this episode is my reminder to myself, and maybe to you, that health isn't something we earn when life finally calms down. It's something we practice inside the chaos, inside the busy. When you are constantly in the middle of the hustle, health can start to feel like the first thing that gets sacrificed. Not because you don't care, not because you don't know what to do, but because you're trying to hold your whole life together at times. Don't lose sight of it, my friends. Health is the glue that holds everything together. So making time for it is not an option. It's a necessity. So today's episode isn't about the perfect plan. It's about what real life has taught me over the last 8 months. I want to talk to you about what it really means to stay healthy in the hustle. Not in theory, but in real life. A review, sort of what I've learned the last several months. When the calendar was full, the energy's low, and I'm trying to keep promises to myself and everyone around me. Prioritizing your health in a life that never slows down can be really hard. The kind of life where you're juggling a PhD and raising a daughter and working full time and launching a new business, managing your weight and trying to pick a barbell up after injuries. A life where you try to make your next choice count. Health isn't a sprint. It's a long-haul commitment built in the slow, steady daily habits that you can keep grabbing onto, even on the busiest days. If you're in a season where your life is moving fast like mine, listen in because this episode's for you. Welcome to episode 50 of Making Mel Health in the Hustle. This podcast is a place where motherhood meets muscle, ambition meets exhaustion, and figuring out how to prioritize my health journey into the insanely beautiful chaos of a busy life is what I talk about. Some days it'll look messy, and other days, flawless. But no matter what kind of day I'm having, I can assure you I will tell the truth and do my best to give you some good ideas and insight to help you prioritize your own journey. When I say health in the hustle, I don't mean eating perfectly, working out every day, and never falling off. I mean something simpler and honestly more powerful. I mean choosing the next best thing when the ideal thing just isn't happening. I mean understanding that health is not an all or nothing personality trait. It's not I'm disciplined versus I'm not. It's a relationship that you build with yourself. And relationships are built in the small moments, especially the ones where nobody's watching. Health in the hustle is drinking water even if your day is messy. It's getting protein in even if dinner's really basic. It's taking that 10-minute walk even if you don't make it to the gym. It's getting the stretches in when it's the last thing that you want to do. It's missing out on social events because sleep has to be prioritized. It's going to bed instead of scrolling. It's doing physical therapy or stretching, even if it feels boring. It's starting again without punishing yourself for stopping on a particularly tough day. The hustle will always have a reason for you to wait. There will always be another deadline, another responsibility, and another season. And if we keep telling ourselves, I'll take care of me when things slow down, we might be waiting forever. So I had to learn how to take care of myself while all the things were still moving. When life is busy, and the hustle's in full swing, health can feel really hard and life can feel heavy. But everyone has heavy moments. These last 8 months, they've been a masterclass in heavy. I want to be honest, there were weeks when I did not feel like the healthy girl at all. There were weeks when I felt like I was just surviving and holding on by a thin thread or keeping my head above water. When I was supporting my daughter and meeting expectations and just trying not to fall behind. And when you're in that space, it's really easy to think, what's the point? Like, if I can't do it all the way, I shouldn't do it at all. But that mindset is a trap. Because it turns health into one more thing for you to fail at. You know, Coach Val says that if you break one egg on the floor, are you just going to throw the rest of the dozen on the floor and break them too? So I had to start asking myself a different question. Not what's the perfect plan, but what can I do today that my future self will thank me for? Even if it's small and not impressive, even if it's just one choice. There were weeks when my PhD deadlines were stacking up like bricks. There were nights when I stayed up too late writing emails. Then I woke up early to get my daughter to school or appointments. There were days when work felt like a sprint that just never slowed down. There are moments when my weight reflected stress more than all of my intentions. Launching a business added an unexpected blessing, but also additional work to the mix that I had not anticipated. And coming back to lifting after an injury, you want to talk about humbling. This humbled me in a way that I didn't expect. And here's the thing. Even when we know what to do, doing it consistently is really hard. Not because we're weak, but because habits require repetition, stability, and support. We are living, breathing human beings, not machines that make automation easy. Habits are shaped by your environment and your emotional state, which means if life is chaotic, your habits are going to wobble. And that doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you. It means you're human. But read the fine print. Chaos doesn't disqualify you from becoming healthier. Chaos requires a focus on health, especially if you want to keep making the hustle happen. So let's ground this in science for a minute, because I'm a science nerd and that's what I do. Healthy habits extend life, literally. Maintaining just a few habits, eating well, moving your body, maintaining a healthy weight, and drinking water can add more than a decade to your life. I'm not talking about the perfect 12-week challenge, just consistent, doable habits. The effort that we can make even when life is busy. Consistent habits aren't a personality trait. They are built in the day-to-day boring repetition. Consistency is not built through motivation or willpower. It's your next choice, which means you don't need to be a different person or have better motivation or unwavering willpower in order to get it done. You need systems that support who you are and where you are in life. And I've lived this. When I set my gym clothes out the night before, I lift the next day. When I place 2 water bottles in front of the coffee maker each night, it's intentional. When I plan meals that I'm going to make over the next week, based on what my schedule looks like for the next week, I eat well during that time, no matter how busy it gets, because I've made the choices easier. When I anchor water, creatine, and vitamins to my morning coffee, I don't forget them. Systems carry me when motivation doesn't. So let's talk about what works when your life is messy and busy. The key is pacing yourself and starting small. Tiny habits stick because they don't require mental negotiation. Coming back from my most recent injury didn't happen with heavy lifts. That's not where I started. It started with movements that didn't scare my body. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That's how I rebuilt trust with myself and my body. It's the micro moments. I've done squat while waiting for water to boil. I've picked up 25-pound kettlebells and got some goblet squats in while I was waiting for something to print. I've prepped and chopped peppers and onions for dinner when I had a 5-minute break between meetings. Not the whole meal, but those small moves made tomorrow easier. It's about reducing friction, and it's one of the best steps that you can take to make your health efforts easier. My water bottle stays filled. My gym bag stays packed. My veggies get pre-cut, not because I'm organized, but because I'm tired and I'm busy, and tired people need less steps. I anchor my habits to routines, water, coffee, and vitamins. Friend drop-offs with climbing up and down the stairs in a 10-minute walk. My lunch break is for protein and coaching calls. All these pairings make habits automatic and possible. Embracing good enough is sometimes necessary as well. A 20-minute workout with weights is better than skipping altogether. A simple dinner counts. A walk counts. Consistency beats intensity every single time. There were days when structuring your paper was all I could manage because bedtime was looming and work for the day didn't end until after 8:30 p.m. But that structure made finishing the paper easier the next day. It's all about working smarter and not harder, even though I work pretty hard. When the plan you put together doesn't work, compromise is a better choice than skipping. Something is always better than nothing. And science backs this up. Small actions add up. James Clear tells us, you don't rise to the level of your motivation, you fall to the level of your systems. And systems can be really simple. Your health is not a luxury. It's the foundation that makes everything else possible. And I've lived this truth. When I sleep, I think better for my PhD. When I lift, I parent with more patience and drive with more patience. When I eat well, I have more energy and more clarity. When I take care of myself, I can carry the life that I'm building. If you want to make your health journey simpler, just do this. For the next 7 days, choose one micro habit. Prep one thing today that makes tomorrow easier. Remove one friction point. Pack that gym bag. Put your walking shoes by the bed and put them on when you wake up in the morning. Fill up your water bottle. Cut the veggies. Small steps and slow builds equal long haul. As I close, I want to say this clearly. Your busy life doesn't disqualify you from being healthy. It just means that your version of healthy has to be realistic, repeatable, and kind. You don't need a whole comeback story, and you don't need a crazy challenge to help you stay on track. You need a plan for regular, boring days. You need a way to keep showing up even when it's not perfect, because it's never gonna be. So here's what I want you to take with you this week. Pick that one small thing, that one promise that you can keep, not because it changes everything overnight, but because you're willing to fight for your own well-being. And if today was heavy, and if you're tired, and if you're feeling behind and off track, let this be your permission to restart without shame, to start right where you are, in the middle of the messy, busy hustle. And no matter where you're starting, you're not starting over from zero. You're starting from experience. Thank you for being here for the last 50 episodes. And we're not done yet. We got a lot of work to do. We're just going to keep getting stronger through that boring consistency. One slow, steady step at a time in the middle of the hustle. Until next time, onward and upward, my friends.